So Tesla has been very busy with the Model Y this month here in the States. An all-new cheapest Model Y that actually has the longest range out of any Model Y. We are seeing new pricing and a limited time sub 1% financing offer. But the question still remains, should you buy now or should you wait? And I figured, why don't we just go on a little drive and talk about it? So the new Model Y lineup consists of 3 different trims. First, you have the all-wheel drive long range, which is going to run you $47,990. It's going to get you roughly about 320 miles of range. Secondly, you have the performance all-wheel drive, which of course is faster on the 0 to 60. It goes from 4.8 to 3.5. And that starts at $51,490 with a range of roughly about 280 miles. And then you have the newest trim, which is the long range rear wheel drive that starts at $44,990 and gets 320 miles of range. And unlike the Model 3, all trims of the Model Y qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit. And as of the start of 2024, that comes right off the top. So when you put an order in, they'll ask you a few questions, you have to check a few boxes, but then you'll see that $7,500 just taken right off. So assuming you qualify, that means the performance is around 45, the long range is around 40, and the long range rear wheel drive is around 37-ish. Now, if you've been in the market to purchase for at least the last few months, then you probably know that this actually means that the cheapest Tesla is now more expensive. Tesla used to offer a rear-wheel drive non-long range for $42,990, and that got a range of roughly about 260 miles. So you're paying about $2,000 more from $42,990 to $44,990, but you're getting about 60 more miles of range. However, the new rear-wheel drive long range is the same as the old rear-wheel drive non-long range. The battery is just no longer software limited. And for anyone that doesn't know, the batteries, as of like the last few months that they've been making that 260 mile Model Y and of course the new rear-wheel drive long range, those are the same batteries that are in the long range all-wheel drive. So they're not LFP or 4680, and they have the really good charging curve. Elon has also stated that people that have purchased the 260 mile Model Y, the old rear-wheel drive, you're going to be able to purchase a software upgrade for $1,500 to $2,000. That's actually going to unlock your battery pack. It's going to give you an extra 40 to 60 miles depending on the cells, which essentially puts you at the same price and range as the current 320 mile rear wheel drive long range. Why did I decide to come to Kroger at 4 p.m.? This was a terrible idea. Also, if you're looking at getting a Model Y, you're probably going to want to pick up some all-weather floor mats because the carpet ones that come with the car are pretty awful, along with a screen protector, some sunshades, or maybe even a light strip to get that refreshed ambient lighting feel without having to wait or buy the refresh. I'll have all those linked below along with all the accessories I use, and you can use code YouTube all caps to get 10% off your entire order at Test Stuff. And the only reason I'm even mentioning, something that Tesla is no longer offering is because they actually still are offering it just through the inventory. And it's the same price as it was, so $42,990, and with the news that you're going to be able to purchase a upgrade for essentially the same price as upgrading to the long-range rear-wheel drive, you could always just pick up a rear-wheel drive non-long range from inventory for $42,990, and then if you do end up needing the range, then you could just pay the extra $1,500 to $2,000 to unlock it. So if range and price is all you care about, you don't care about anything else, then the 260 mile Model Y is perfect for you. However, do note that the rear wheel drive Model Y is nerfed in a few different ways. First, the sound system. It just has a subpar sound system compared to the all-wheel drive long range and all-wheel drive performance. There's also no fog lights, and I think there's maybe one or two other things, but I'm not 100% sure. Those are the two things that I know for certain that you are lacking or that's nerfed on the rear wheel drive Model Y. And that's both the long-range rear-wheel drive and the 260-mile rear-wheel drive. Now let's discuss the big elephant in the room, the APR financing promotion that Tesla is now running. Yes, Model Ys have been cheaper to purchase just straight out in the past. Like just I think a few months ago was technically their all-time low. From a I'm looking to finance the vehicle and you're paying month to month point of view, this is the cheapest that it's ever been to purchase a Model Y. Going from a 5 to 6% interest to a 0.99 is huge for your monthly payment. Also, not to mention, if you're more financially savvy, then you're going to be able to easily find a very low risk option that's going to far outpace your 0.99%. I actually did some numbers here, but on a rear wheel drive long range after the tax credit with 0 down and a 72-month term, which is the longest Tesla will allow for the promotion, you're going from around 620 at 6%, and Tesla actually is a little bit higher than 6%. If you go through like a credit union, you can find like around the 5.5 a month, to $535 at 1%, which I mean, saving $85 a month isn't like the craziest thing in the world. But if you look at the interest life over the loan, that is where it gets a little jaw dropping, as you will go from paying over $7,200 over the course of 6 years to paying just slightly over $1,100. That's $6,000 plus in savings. Yeah, it really doesn't matter when you're getting a 1%. I mean, 48, 60, 72, who cares? It's pretty much free money. Now, I want to quickly touch on inventory and if you should buy used. I've already kind of mentioned inventory, but if you don't know, inventory is essentially new. Sometimes you will find lightly used demo cars with like a few thousand miles. But for the most part, it's brand new cars that were just extra that Tesla made, or people ordered cars and canceled them. So now they just, have it on hand and it's already built. There's a VIN already available. Normally it's on the way to whatever location you're looking at, or you can have it shipped to that location for like a few $1,000s, which to be honest with you, if it's less than like 500 miles out, I recommend just going, saving the money, picking it up and road tripping it back for you to get a kind of a good feel for the car. You used to be able to find like stupid discounts in inventory, but ever since the like APR promotion, you really can't find them anymore. You may be able to find a crazy one, but it's going to take you essentially checking the inventory with whatever your location is 24/7, because people have like notifications and bots set up that like alert them when stuff gets added to the inventory. And I mean, they go very, very quick. Now, as for used, and this may be a hot take, but I just really don't recommend buying used while this like APR financing offer is available. The current rate on used cars is even worse than the 5 to 6% rate on new cars. So the potential $5,000 to $6,000 that you'd be saving buying used is just going to get eaten up in interest unless, you're paying cash. Plus, a lot of used Model Ys right now just aren't worth it, assuming that you qualify for the tax credit. The only way that I would even consider a used Model Y right now, assuming that you qualify for the tax credit, would be if it's sub $30,000, has less than 25,000 miles on it, and has a Ryzen chip. Because I've been in the process of selling my Model 3, and I'll actually have a video next week on that exact topic, I've been up to date on used Teslas actually are selling for, and the amount of people I see, especially like late 2021, 2022, the ones that paid, $60,000, $70,000 for the Model Y, what they're asking and their reasoning is actually hilarious. Like, I see some people that are trying to sell cars with ultrasonic sensors, claiming that Tesla is no longer making them and they're super rare, and that's why you should give me $45,000 for my Model Y Performance that's from 22 that has 50,000 miles. I don't know, it's just like it's actually hilarious to read some of the posts. And the worst part is that a lot of people, they don't actually know any better. Like, they don't know how cheap you can get a Model Y from Tesla, so they're borderline getting scammed buying used. It's Dune Day. It does. Disc is loose. You all probably don't care. It's okay. All right. I get it. You all don't care. So why should you wait, or why are people waiting? Why do people say you should wait? And there's like literally a line of cops right here. If you're out of the loop, there's a refresh on the way. The 3 and Y used to look pretty much identical. In fact, they shared, I think, like 70% of their parts. And the Y was just essentially a taller, fatter 3. That's just literally all it was. But now you'll see that the 3 looks much different than the Y. And essentially everything that came to the 3 is going to be coming to the Y. So it's going to be an updated front end, rear end, and just a completely overhauled interior. So you got ambient lighting, you got a screen with smaller bezels, you have cooled seats that are also perforated. Just, I've made videos on the new 3. Just go watch that, and that's essentially what's coming to the Y. And the second reason to wait, or why I've seen people waiting, is because people are saying if they're doing these APR promos now, just imagine what they're going to do for end of quarter. I don't know why this keeps falling, man. Just imagine what they're going to do for the end of quarter push, or when the refreshed Y actually does come out. Imagine then how much they're going to discount these cars. I mean, the 3 was getting some crazy discounts when the refreshed dropped. I also don't think this is the last time that we will see these financing promotional offers. Maybe not at the end of this quarter, because that would literally be next month. But maybe at the end of next quarter, or when the Model Y refresh does happen, because, they have a ton of Model Ys just sitting that need to be sold. So I could foresee maybe at the end of Q3 or Q4, whenever they are ramping up to, get the refreshed Y, which is the current rumors, we're going to see it at the very beginning of 2025, or around the, Q1 of 2025 here in the States, and then the end of this year in other markets. So should you purchase a Model Y right now? Honestly, if you don't care about the refresh, there is no guarantee what I just said is going to happen, right? There is no guarantee that they are going to bring this back. There is no guarantee that prices are going to get lower. And to be honest, right now, I think a rear-wheel drive with that long-range battery pack is insane. We saw a rear-wheel drive long-range Model 3, and that was one of the most insane, road tripping efficiency cars that you could get. They never offered it again after the initial offering. I think that's a really good option. Or if you do want the upgraded, sound system and, all-wheel drive vehicle, then, hey, a Model Y all-wheel drive for $40,000 after tax credit at a 1% interest rate. I mean, those cars were pushing 70 not even 2 years ago at a 3 to 4% interest rate. So yeah, if you don't care about the refresh, I think right now is the literal perfect time to buy. If you do care about the refresh, like me personally, I'm still waiting. It doesn't, I'll gladly pay 4 or 5% to get all the, new features that the refreshed Y is going to have. But if you don't care, then hey, right now is literally the perfect time. I have IRL people, and keep in mind, I live in good old, coal-powered, the backwoods of Kentucky. And I have IRL people asking me about buying a Model Y right now, because they've seen the promotional APR offers, and they've seen, just how cheap it is per month to own these cars. And wait, you're telling me that you don't got to change your brake pads, or you don't got to do oil changes, and there's no gas, and electricity around me is super cheap. So yeah, those are just my thoughts on the kind of crazy situation that is the Model Y currently. If you are new around here and you do want to see more Tesla related stuff in your YouTube feed, then feel free to subscribe. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, or if you're buying a Model Y or planning on buying a Model Y. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.